And we're live. And Blaine just joined us. All right.
Perfect timing.
Hey,
How's
Blaine.
everybody doing tonight?
That's what
I'm
they
doing
call
well.
a,
How are you?
that's what they call a photo finish.
Precision targeting.
No sooner did the live button come on than you popped it.
Yeah, I heard you say you were live as soon as I signed on. And that's when Sasha decided to get loud.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Probably not a peep out of him the whole day.
Off and on.
So tonight, so far, we have the one-ton-hammer with us. The next 6 minutes.
Him again.
Him again. We have Sweeper Steven.
You'll never be rid of me. Sweeper.
And we have Plain Speech.
Hello.
You guys can never get rid of me. I'm like herpes. I keep coming back.
I would make the
I know Italians. I could get rid of you.
And they own concrete companies, so.
Connections in the refuse and concrete industries. And recycling. You got to diversify.
Oh, man. Looks like we have one person in the chat. Hello, Irish Rose.
Oh, good. It's not Jacob.
Oh, that's not nice.
I was afraid I was slacking and hadn't put him in timeout yet.
No, he has not shown up yet.
Okay, let me know because I'll pop in and timeout him.
It's still early yet.
He'll find his way here eventually.
I'm sure he will. I don't even know who's streaming still or any of that. It was a mad dash to get the hang-up set up. So,
This is your first time hosting, isn't it?
Second.
Second?
Last Tuesday was my first.
Nice.
So, still getting the hang
Who
of
are
things.
you again?
I can see tonight's going to be brutal.
Who are you and what did you do with the normal Tuesday host?
He is Greater Ajax, not to be confused with Ajax or Lesser Ajax, or even Greater Ajax.
Or Francis.
I got to give everybody a hard time. It's just what I do. I have to mask my deep-seated insecurities somehow.
You have to play to your strengths.
Yeah, exactly.
Deprecation
with that.
is a coping mechanism.
So is why am I blanking on the term? Black humor.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with like Chris Rock and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, I was almost going to say coping Mexican, but I'd be referring to myself.
I cope with their food. Nothing like a nice burrito baby to make you take a nice nap.
Yeah, or spend a good solid 15 minutes in the can.
We can nap there.
Especially if they give you the one with the extra cilantro.
Yeah.
That'll clean you out.
You know, I do like the tradition of the siesta.
Well,
I'm rather fond of it.
There's more than one country that does the siesta, of course.
I encourage it. I think it's a good policy.
It's a real pain in the ass when you need to go to the hardware store and they're all closed.
I can't argue with you there.
That's the one thing
Now,
I don't like about it.
Are you there to pick up hardware, or are you there to pick up more Mexicans?
There's not a lot of Mexicans in Greece.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we do practice the siesta. Pretty much everything's closed from 2 to 5.
Yeah.
Some towns 1 to 5. Of course, then everything.
Yeah, but you guys actually have like things going on in the evening. Here, things started shutting down at 9 because people. Well, actually, no. Where I used to live, things started shutting down around 9 because the crime just got too bad in the dark.
Well, in Greece, nobody goes to the nightclub before 1 a.m.
Right.
Nobody goes to the bar or the coffee house till about 9 p.m. So
Seems reasonable to me.
I think Do they not breakfast coffee there?
Yeah. I mean, you walk from the bar to the cafe. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still awake.
Yeah, it's when they say it's a different world, it's literally a different world.
Yeah, it's the part of the early morning where they say, "Oh shit, I don't have time to sleep before work." So they go get coffee.
No, that's when they say work. What's that? I haven't done it in years.
Oh right, you guys do have that kind of an economy going.
Right. Somehow they manage. Don't ask me how. I don't know. But I envy
Germany.
I envy their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Well, now if Germany would have paid the reparations they owed us in the beginning, maybe we wouldn't be so bad off.
Well, Poland's being more vigilant in their billing right now.
And I love them for it.
I do too, and I was born in Germany.
Gotta love Poland, man.
Oh yeah, Poland is right now my favorite European country.
Yeah, Hungary's running a close second.
For sure.
So, Sylvanas usually likes us to read off headlines from the Chaos 120 news thing on Twitter. But I had this little thing that I found just before the stream, and this may be amusing depending on who you are. But it appears as though the U.S. men's soccer team has been eliminated from World Cup contention.
By snipers or by losing?
by losing.
Okay, they could do both, you know.
Let's see, 28 years after a stunning victory at Trinidad put the Americans back in a World Cup after a 4-decade absence, their chances for next year's tournament in Russia ended on this island nation off the coast of Venezuela. Trinidad, and this let's just say, and Tobago scored a pair of first half goals, and the United States was eliminated in a 2-1 defeat Tuesday night. The first time missing the World Cup since 1986. So 30 years. Wow.
So even with all the Mexican influx, our team still can't win at soccer?
Yeah, apparently. They don't have enough Mexicans.
Where are they going? Canada?
I guess their soccer players are going to Canada or some other country because they're. See, I guess they're not. I guess Trump was right. They're really not sending us their best.
Well, that's because they heard there was a wall and they weren't going to be able to get back to send money to their families. Actually, I do know. I have a friend in Mexico, from Mexico, who's in Canada right now, working as a slave. I could have told her not to go, but she went anyway.
Working as a slave? Was she picking cotton?
Grapes, last I checked, but before that it was cherries. She's gone up there for the bracero life and regrets it, but can't afford to go back.
Wow.
At least she has something to eat.
Not much, and she's paid sub-minimum wage.
Jeez.
Well, she could have picked a warmer country.
Well, she's a super SJW, so she kind of brought it to herself.
That's what she deserves. I see what you're saying.
I warned her. I was like, "This is what happens when you have, illegal workers working in your country. Is you end up with people working basically as slaves." And she was like, "No, it's just freedom."
It's just
like,
freedom.
yeah, no, that's not how this works.
It's freedom to be trapped in a foreign country that you.
Yeah, it's freedom for the employer, maybe.
Yeah.
There's a balance for a reason. But yeah, now she's trapped away from her 4 daughters who are in Mexico with her in-laws, working as a field worker after leaving a prestigious job at a university to go for the glamorous life of an illegal immigrant.
No.
Yeah. She wasn't a professor. She was working in the office, but...
Still. It's a far cry between an office job, between a desk job and out in the fields picking grapes by hand.
I'm 99% sure there's more to the story of how she left that one. But yeah, she's now stuck in Canada because she cannot afford to get back to her homeland of Mexico. I think she technically has a visa, but not a working visa, and she's working anyway. So not illegal, but working illegally, and can't afford to get back home.
You know, someday she's gonna write the book about illegally entering the U.S. so she can illegally enter Mexico to save her ass.
I sure hope so, because the thing is, she's not even. I mean, she has no common sense, but she's not stupid. She just has no common sense, and I'm hoping this teaches her some, and I'm hoping she manages to get her ass back to Mexico.
I know a lot of really smart people who do a lot of really dumb shit.
Yeah, and this is one of those cases. It's like she's been sold on this whole intersectional bullshit, and her and her lesbian wife are up there picking grapes.
Oh my god.
Sounds like fun.
Okay, 6, it's up to you to get an underground railroad going from Canada to Mexico to save these people.
Yes, save the illegal Mexicans from Canada, bring them through the U.S. without getting to a Dreamer office, and then get them to Mexico.
As half of my people say, orale.
As all of my people say, Chatelet.
There we go. Chatelet. Hey, we got a Florida man story.
Oh, sweet! I love Florida Man. He's my favorite superhero.
This time, Florida Man's at an Airbnb. Florida Man says hidden cameras in his Airbnb were for sex parties, not spying. Okay, this is from Jack Cochran, our field reporter.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack. There's a seemingly infinite well of horror stories about Airbnb hosts returning home to find their houses robbed, trashed, or turned into impromptu brothels. That's why I said impromptu brothels. I'll read it for you again. Impromptu brothels. Let that sink in. But it turns out that things can get pretty weird for Airbnb guests too. An Indiana couple on vacation in Florida was horrified earlier this week when they discovered a hidden camera inside the bedroom of their Airbnb, ABC reports. According to ABC, Derek Starnes and his wife were already one night into their stay in Florida's Longboat Key when they realized that something was weird with the master bedroom smoke detector. When he took it down from the ceiling, he realized that the thing wasn't a smoke detector at all, but a secret camera recording HD video and audio of him and his wife in bed. Dun dun dun.
See, I could see a problem with that, but I have to question. I mean, what's the problem with having an impromptu brothel? I mean, I know soup making can be messy, but as long as they clean up after themselves,
it's okay to have a brothel as long as it's impromptu.
What's wrong? What's wrong with making soup?
Oh gosh,
soup making is risky business. But
especially if
no, that's a film with Tom Cruise. I know that. You're not going to fool me with this one.
Starnes quickly called the police, who searched the rental and discovered a second hidden camera in another area of the house.
I bet it was the bathroom.
I'm betting yes. We seized a lot of computer storage data devices, hard drives, computers, laptops, SD cards, anything that would store data, Longboat Key Police Chief Lieutenant Bob Bork told ABC. We don't know if there are local victims, someone who may have been dating him, or a companion who doesn't realize they are being videotaped. And then we have the other side, who he rented to Airbnb. According to the cops, the home at they give us the address, thank you. 623 Cedars Court had been available on Airbnb for the past 2 years. They're currently looking for anyone who stayed there during the time and were potentially filmed without their knowledge. For those impromptu sex parties, no doubt. Police arrested the owner of the rental, 56-year-old Wayne Nat, and have charged him with video voyeurism. Nat claims that he used the cameras to film sex parties in his home, but never filmed anyone without their consent. I see. He had He says that
That's why the
everyone
cameras were hidden.
he says that everyone videoed had knowledge he was videoing them, Bork said. But what he said to that was, if people are consenting to recording sexual activity, why is it hidden in a smoke alarm? That's a damn good question. Normally, these consensual video recordings include things like tripods and shit like that.
Tripods are too expensive.
Nat reportedly said
cost-saving effort.
Nat reportedly said that the hidden ceiling camera gave a better angle. Right.
You know, I was actually about to just make a devil's advocate argument making fun of it by saying exactly that.
But it sounds kind of ridiculous when they say it, right?
Well, it was going to sound ridiculous when I said it too. So.
According to the Airbnb terms of service, a host has to disclose any surveillance devices in the home, even if they're not turned on, and anything in the bedroom or bathroom is totally, this is exactly what it says, unchill.
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 Yes, that's exactly what it says. UNCHILL, unchill.
Unchill.
That doesn't sound binding.
All these legal terms, jeez.
Man. Airbnb told ABC that it was outraged at the story and has permanently banned Nat from the house sharing service. His unchill sharing service. What the hell?
Now, why would they ban him from the service? I'm sure there's couples that want to keep a memento of their time alone. This could be an additional feature to Airbnb.
Those unchill.
You're saying if I want to be filmed, I have to do it in the living room now?
Nice.
Those unchill impromptu sex parties or whatever. Impromptu brothels. Anyhow. Let's see what else we got here. So Jack Cochran just uploaded a whole bunch of stuff over the last maybe 6 or 7 hours. Ooh, no, I don't want to read that one.
What, does it have testicles in the title?
No, it's just depressing. Okay, let's see what I want to.
Oh, dick waffles?
Nah,
Okay.
nothing. So.
Waffles aren't depressing.
Colonoscopy?
It depends how big they are when they serve them to you.
Okay, this may or may not be a Florida man story, but it really should be.
You know, Russian man and Florida man are running neck and neck. Is it Russian man?
Let's see. No, this one looks like it's
I don't know if I can
Maryland.
I don't know if I can fit a big thick waffle down my throat.
Well, how did you do last time you tried?
Okay, so apparently,
Sorry, Six, go ahead.
apparently a man who was angry at a school bus driver has, during his road rage, clings to the bus. Okay, WBAL, yes.
Like gave it an enema, or
I don't know. He's like one of those. What do you call them? Those little rubber monkey-looking things with a suction cup on their hands.
oh
See
yeah,
in windows, something like that. Okay, a Maryland man seen on a video clinging to the front of a moving Baltimore County school bus. A moving Baltimore.
Oh,
County
clings. I thought you
bus.
said cleanse. I thought you were like talking about putting coffee up its ass or something.
This guy probably needs it. In front of a moving Baltimore County bus has been arrested. County police said the incident occurred around 3:15 p.m. Thursday in Parkville. Police said the man told them someone threw a bottle from the bus and struck his car. This being a school bus, that's probably not implausible. A school bus traveling from Loch Raven Middle School was in traffic. It was sitting next to another vehicle, allegedly. A bottle of some sort was thrown out of the bus toward that vehicle. At that point, the driver of that vehicle got out of his vehicle. Oh boy. Baltimore County Sergeant Andrea Byland said, police said the man tried to get inside the bus, but the driver would not open the door because he was in fear of the safety of the students on the bus.
They're not students till they get to school.
Yeah, that's it's understandable that he would be angry like that, but taking it out on the bus driver.
He took it out on the bus.
Taking it out on the bus and clinging to the bus like he's like.
And he was arrested for this?
He was arrested for this. He was clinging to the bus.
Busman did do nothing.
Cling guy did do nothing. Yeah.
It's like one of those wacky sticky octopuses that you throw against the wall and they gradually climb down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's crazy.
Road rage.
Road rage makes you attack a school bus.
What kind of car did he have? I mean, if he had like, a Mercedes or something like that, rich white people are nuts.
Pinto.
It did not specify what vehicle he was driving, but from the look of it, I would say no, it's not likely that he was driving a Mercedes.
Okay. If he's driving a Hyundai, then he should get arrested.
This guy looks like he was scooting around in a Nissan Stanza.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna make a guess and say it was a custom Krylon painted Gremlin.
Yeah. Okay, I will skip the depressing one and go to, let's see.
These are all from staff reporter The Jack Cochran.
The Jack Cochran. The depressing one's, of course, from Colleen Bernier. I don't really want to read that one. It's a little, yeah.
So, do we have a link for the chat? Because
let's see. I will, if they want to read it, that's fine.
I just wanted to interact with chat while we're talking.
I think there's one in Discord.
Is there?
Is that the one that was under the Hangouts link in the planning channel?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It. It's under the live stream. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Oh, would you guys like to have a conversation about white people?
White people?
White people.
And bring
What
on
are
the
those?
kids. Yeah.
Albinos?
This also comes to us from our esteemed field reporter, Jack Cochran. Okay, so we need to have a conversation about white people.
Sure, let's have a conversation about white people.
We'll
Why
do
not?
that. In the 241 years of America's existence, we have purposely ignored the important topic that lingers over this country's constant pursuit of happiness. Until we come up...
Encroachment on the Second Amendment?
Until we can come to grips with this pressing dilemma and confront it head on, we can never hope for peace, justice, and equality. Aww. For too long, we have allowed ourselves to look the other way, blithely neglecting the one thing that could possibly heal the racial divide that cripples our great nation.
Genocide?
We, of course, need to talk about white people.
Ooh, blithely. Love that word.
Which part of white superiority do they want to talk about?
Well, I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
Look, I'm not here to
superiority.
Look, I'm not here to cast aspersions on our Caucasian brethren, but it is imperative that we stop ignoring the truth and face facts. A great man once said, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, and putting sugar on grits." I don't know if I've heard that paraphrasal before. However,
I'm not sure it actually makes sense.
No, you don't put sugar on grits, you put butter, possibly salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
However, for now, let us eschew the hominy-related controversy in favor of a more substantial one. There is one through line that connects all the suffering, injustice, and oppression in this country's past. Guess what that is? That's, of course, white people.
No.
Oh, a few days ago, the New York Times released a shocking expose on Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein's predilection for sexual harassment and assault. After the story broke, women emerged from the woodwork telling stories of how the Teletubby-shaped producer forced them to watch him masturbate and how he paraded around naked in front of a confused A-list actress.
Wait, which Teletubby?
I would say...
I hope it's Poe. Tinky Winky will be acceptable also. He's the gay one.
I'm thinking maybe the green one. I don't know. This is nothing new. A few days earlier, pro-life champion Representative Tim Murphy resigned from Congress after text messages surfaced of him asking his mistress to have an abortion. Even the President of the United States is a self-confessed pussy grabber. Actually, no, that's not what he said.
No.
He said they'll let them. That's consensual.
He's an opportunist. That's all he said.
We knew he was an opportunist before that too. So
that's what I'm saying.
But of course, according to the author, this question must be asked: what do all these men have in common? I'll let you answer the question. All I can say is that no one has accused Spike Lee of beating off into potted plants. You might fault former President Barack Obama for wearing a tan suit, but I can't recall a single recording of him bragging about assaulting vaginas or sending text messages to pregnant side chicks. When white people send their representatives to Hollywood and Washington, D.C., they're not sending us their best. They're sending their gangsters and their sexual deviants. And some, I assume, are good people. Ooh, what a burn. Let's put that topic aside and focus on white crime. It is a deadly scourge that needs to stop. When white people talk about black thugs, Mexican gangbangers, and Muslim terrorists, they conveniently ignore the fact that most white people are killed by other white people.
Wait, hang on. They're saying I'm supposed to actually care about what race?
Yeah.
Oh, well, screw them then. Their opinions no longer matter.
Look at Las Vegas. They commit the most mass shootings. They are responsible for the majority of terrorist attacks, and even though they are the first ones to scream "Blue Lives Matter," whites kill more cops than other race. White men commit the majority of heinous crimes, including murders, rapes, and electric slide missteps. The dance from the 1970s, the electric slide.
They keep bringing up the past.
Can any
slavery, the electric slide? I mean, come on.
Can any of you do the electric slide?
Yes, but not well.
I plead the fifth.
I've never actually.
It was required in gym class.
Yes, it was.
I've never actually attempted to do the electric slide myself, but
you're not missing out. I mean, there's a reason they had to give us a grade to get us to do it.
I don't understand how white people are supposed to feel safe in this country with all these white people around murdering all willy-nilly.
Easy, we have guns.
Look, this has nothing to do with race. Oh, the fact is, if you were walking down a dark alley, statistically speaking, the person most likely to jump out with a knife, gun, or penis in his hands is a white man. And I'm not talking that per capita bullshit. I'm talking raw, real numbers. Yeah.
Wait, are they saying it's illegal to have a gun, a penis, or a knife?
You can't have all three at
guess.
the same time.
I guess, because patriarchy. A capita has never done anything to me. I saw the Capitas win my college homecoming step show in '99. They really can swing those canes. I have no idea what the hell that is.
Are they using Michael Caine as a golf club?
I don't know. They're talking about step shows. I don't really watch step shows.
Yeah.
Into homecomings or otherwise. You guys see what happens when too many of them get together to protest. It always turns into a riot. Look at Charlottesville, Virginia. America will never be the same after those thugs took tiki torches and destroyed their own neighborhoods. Oh, those tiki winks with their tiki torches. Maybe the solution is to build a wall around white people and make them pay for it. They have enough money. Maybe we should institute a travel ban geared towards people. Oh gosh, it actually says white people. White people stand to keep them from coming into this country until we can figure out what the hell is going on. And they are such snowflakes. This author.
So they're proposing they're proposing a white ethno state.
It looks like they're trying to use terminology that anti-SJWs tend to use, but this execution is really pathetic.
So what I'm gathering is that they are saying that Charlottesville was basically what happened in Ferguson, and that the people are just viewed in negative, and that we need a white ethno state to get all the white people safe from all the other people.
I don't know.
It sounds an awful lot like Richard Spencer wrote this.
You know what it actually sounds like to me? Are you guys familiar with Tommy Sotomayor?
No.
Yeah,
I'm subscribed to him on YouTube.
Yeah, he's got like 6 YouTube channels now. He's very anti-thug, anti-black woman. If you took one of his videos and played the audio backwards, this is what you would get.
Yeah. Let's see. It continues on, unfortunately. They will literally burst into tears if you quietly kneel down. They can't even handle free speech without whining. White people are always complaining about how oppressed they are. If they don't like it, why don't they go back to Caucasia? And I know there will be some people who object to my solutions.
It's pronounced Kekistan.
Yeah. They know that.
Chatelet.
They will say I'm cherry picking statistics and singling out the worst aspects of
I
white
wouldn't
people.
say that, because the statistics don't back any of it.
To paint a negative picture of the entire race. They will say that this portrayal of them is unfair and biased. I totally disagree. It's just hateful. And this was written by Root staff reporter Michael Harriet.
So it's a racist rag this is out of in the first place.
Pretty much.
It explains everything.
Wow.
So I could have said the same about like CNN. So.
I kind of get what he's trying to do here.
I get what he's trying to do. He's just doing it badly, and the facts don't back him.
Yeah, he's doing it bad. He's trying to take anti-SJW humor and kind of turn it on its head, but
it doesn't work because the facts don't work that way.
Yeah, his research is incomplete, to be very, very kind.
That's a really generous way to put it.
Yeah. And
non-existent would actually be more suitable.
He's not so much funny. It's not really his jokes. It's when people read his jokes out loud, using their own sense of humor, that his humor kind of halfway works. I say that with a question mark.
You're a really generous person.
I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I try to, I give them as much rope as they are content with to hang themselves. But I like to give people, the chance to actually eventually make sense. They don't always do that.
He didn't even look at the opportunity. He just kind of sneered at it and then walked right by.
Yeah, he was trying to write an article to be pithy, to be snappy, to be witty, question mark. Anyhow, Well, let's.
Off.
I don't want to give myself a headache.
I've got a Florida man story for you guys if you want.
Oh, please, thank God,
lovely.
give us this Florida man story.
Sasha, off.
Let's see. As soon as 3 hours ago, Florida man set on fire after losing NFL bet.
Can you repeat that again?
Florida man set
Florida.
on fire after losing NFL bet.
You heard that right, chat. What he said was that a Florida man was set on fire. That's what happens when things get too hot.
Because
Fire.
Florida's so cold.
Carry on, man. Carry on. I want to hear this.
From the headline, I'm willing to bet alcohol was involved.
I'm willing to bet something stronger than alcohol was involved.
Something white and powdery.
Of course, this is all preface
What, like
with,
white
hey guys, watch what happens next.
Oh, mother bear.
Is he a gator?
No.
Okay.
He should be fed to gators, but he's not a gator. A bet between family members watching an NFL game in Florida took a wrong turn Sunday when a man ended up hospitalized with severe burns. This is really poorly written, guys, so just bear with me.
So was the last one. Don't worry about it.
The family. This is, the family was reportedly watching a Dallas Cowboys versus Green Bay Packers game when a bet was made between a husband and wife.
Wow.
The bet was this: whichever team lost the game, someone would set that team jersey on fire.
Oh, God.
That can't possibly go wrong.
The 27-year-old husband's team, the Cowboys, lost. So he went outside to light his jersey on fire. But was reportedly intoxicated and tried to put the jersey on while it was still on fire. Later, told police.
Damn.
I wouldn't say he was set on fire. I would say that he just donned a flaming jersey.
I guess he wanted to look hot.
It's better than what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say she doused him in alcohol and set him on fire.
That's
what I was expecting.
Hey, you want to see my marshmallow impression?
A family member told the local news outlet he was set on fire after losing a bet on the Cowboys game. Skin was hanging off his arm and back. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was found with second-degree burns on his back and third-degree burns on his right arm and hand.
So was the skin hanging off of him a result of the fire, or is that a second story?
I am not up on my Florida man history for the week, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Because, if he'd been flailed for a previous bet or something, that might not be related.
I think you got the order of operations out of sequence. So you're supposed to, you're not supposed to. Here's what you're supposed to do: take the jersey off, lay it on the ground, set it on fire. Bob's your uncle.
Away.
Yeah. So he had an extra step
outside of the house too, by the way.
Thanks for joining us, Scooby. How you doing, man?
Hanging in there. I didn't want to interrupt you on a roll.
You're on a bun.
No, Florida man had stopped, dropped, and rolled.
Yeah. What are they putting in the water down in Florida? Because this seems to be like a running theme with this show.
It's a combination of Prozac and PCP.
What I think it is, I think it's got to be something about salt water. It's got to be something about salt water.
They replaced their regular salt water with bath salt water.
Yeah. I was down there for that. I was about maybe, I think, a quarter mile away from it when it happened. I was on the other side of the highway. Me and my wife, we thought that some old lady was crossing the street and got hit by like the rental Maserati because of all the commotion. We thought that it was somebody trying to give somebody else mouth to mouth. It turned out it was the guy attacking the other guy. We didn't even know what had happened until we got back to the airport and everyone was talking about it.
Bath salts. It's a hell of a drug.
Day.
Exactly.
Yes.
Damn. Couldn't handle his high. Nor could the other guy.
Indeed.
Nobody handles that high.
Nope. At least not on an empty stomach.
That's okay. He has a way to remedy that.
Ugh. That shit's legal too.
Yep.
It actually, that stuff the bath salt, it's called flocka. You can actually order it from China.
And
But you have to
know
order
this
like
now.
100,000 units from Alibaba to get it, or can you get individual?
Oh,
I have no idea. I really didn't look into it too hard. Like I wasn't looking to order any flocka.
I'm not interested. I just want to make sure I know that if I see any suspicious things going on, if a big crate shows up from China.
you know that Burnside's not on the stream when he doesn't jump in and say, it was a communist plot.
No, that was the article with the white people in it.
The white people.
With the white PayPal.
White PayPal.
I still don't know why these people hate albinos so much.
They're the true whites. You
I
can't get
know.
any whiter.
Neon lives matter. Hashtag neon lives matter.
But yeah, in all seriousness, people need to just treat people like people.
Yeah, they do.
Boy, that'd be nice.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Just common
Interesting
decency
concept.
everywhere.
When did you come up with this?
About 20 years ago, but no one believed me. I thought it'd be a good time to try it again.
Dude, you are a sage of our modern age.
I know. Imagine that I know in Bering's way of saying it, though, because he does it so much better. Oh, I know. They do.
Yeah, it would be nice if people would just treat people like people instead of having asterisks applied to each and every little thing that they do.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I trash talk all the garbage they say, it's everyone on our side knows that we're just taking the piss out of them and just trying to get their goat. They don't seem to get this.
They don't seem to get most humor.
They don't have senses of humor. They've redeveloped it into an offense mechanism.
They've exchanged it for coupons for hair dye
and odd piercings at the secondhand store.
Well, if your IQ is below a certain point, jokes seem oppressive because obviously they can't get them.
Yeah,
Is the real reason they hate fast food is because of what they're doing to their fellow potatoes?
Let's see who else we got up here. Was that the end of the article there, Ajax?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Okay, let's see who else
Check
we
for
got.
updates tomorrow, but I don't think there will be any.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Now,
Jack
Thursday
Cochran's.
night football, there may be something else. I don't know.
Okay. Jack Cochran has sent us another article. Commit a crime, your Fitbit, key fob, or pacemaker could snitch on you. Ooh,
Oh,
it's a real
okay.
big.
Is this
Get
the
some
one
real-
who falsely accused someone of rape and her Fitbit disproved it?
Let's see. Hopefully this video does not blare in my. It is not wanting to pause.
Considering
That's
how many
not-
times I've had sex in my car, at least that part is true. Things
got
that my
to
key
pause.
fob could tell you.
I hope your car is spacious.
Actually, not really.
Just
But-
well arranged?
But he's very limited.
Or are you just determined?
No, it doesn't. It's not actually very much room. It's a two-seater, but there's plenty of room in those two seats.
Fair enough.
Man, this is okay. The firefighter found Richard. This is his actual name, Richard Debate, on the floor of his kitchen where he.
Dick debate?
Dick debate.
Nick
Dick
debate.
Debate.
That's awesome.
That's a new meme, chat.
Cannot discuss, can only debate.
Is this what happens when like Tim and Michael Rowlands disagree?
What if he gets a degree in a master's degree in debate? Does that mess
Master debater? Oh man,
Yeah, master debater.
that joke.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'll continue reading here. Maybe we'll feel bad about making all these jokes.
I doubt
it.
I doubt it.
Exactly.
Mr. Debater, who recently was diagnosed with cancer.
Was it penile cancer?
No, it's testicle.
Oh, man.
Fair enough.
Oh man.
Okay. The fire found Richard Debate on the floor of his kitchen where he had made a desperate 911 call minutes earlier. Courts show bleeding and lashed to a chair with zip ties. The man moaned a chilling warning. They're still in the house. Smoke hung in the air and a trail of blood led to a darkened basement as Connecticut State Police swarmed the large home in the Hartford suburbs for 2 days before Christmas and 2015. Richard, 41, told authorities that a masked intruder with a, quote, Vin Diesel voice killed his wife. I am Groot. Connie in front of him and tortured him. I shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, you should.
I really shouldn't be laughing. Voice killed his wife, Connie, in front of him and tortured him. Police combed the home and town of Ellington, but found no suspect. With no witnesses other than Richard Debate, detectives turned to the vast array of data and sensors that increasingly surround us. An important bit of evidence came from an unlikely source, a Fitbit tracking Connie's movements. Others from the house homes, smart alarm systems, Facebook, cell phones, email, and key fob allowed police to recreate a nearly minute-by-minute account of the morning that they said revealed Richard's story was an elaborately staged fiction. Okay, now I can laugh at him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
I was already laughing at him. I knew it was going to be this because I could tell that if a Fitbit solved it, it had to be him.
Yeah, he deserves all the humor
This is not up for debate.
thrown his way at his expense. Undone by his data, Richard was charged with his wife's murder. He has pleaded not guilty. The case, which is in pretrial motions, is perhaps the best example to date of how internet-connected data collecting smart devices such as fitness trackers, digital home assistants, thermostats, TVs, and even pill bottles seriously are beginning to transform criminal justice. The ubiquitous devices can serve as a legion of witnesses capturing our every move, biometrics, and what we have ingested. They sometimes listen in or watch us in the privacy of our homes, and police are increasingly looking to the devices for clues. The prospect has alarmed privacy advocates who say too many consumers are unaware of the revealing information these devices are harvesting. They also point out that there are few laws specifically crafted to guide how law enforcement officials collect smart device data. Andrew Ferguson, a University of the District of Columbia law professor, says we are entering an era of sensorveillance, when we can expect one device or another to be monitoring us much of the time. The title of the law paper on the topic put the prospect this way: technology is killing our opportunity to lie. The business research company Gartner estimates 8.4 billion devices were connected to the internet in 2017, a 31% increase over the previous year. By 2020, the company estimates there will be roughly 3 smart devices for every person on the planet. Americans are just waking up to the fact that their smart devices are going to snitch on them, Ferguson said, and they are going to reveal intimate details about their lives they did not intend law enforcement to have.
So if these smart devices can keep people from lying, can we give Hillary like 20?
Yeah. We will. You know Chewbacca's bandolier?
Yeah.
We need to strap Hillary with a bandolier full of smart devices that are constantly monitoring her and detecting her lies.
You know,
Can't we instead give her one that's full of blocks of C4 and one cell phone rig detonator?
I'm sure the batteries will be found to be dead.
That depends on how patient people are. Attach it to a water pole.
The debate's yellow colonial was festively decorated with wreaths on the windows, and the morning of December 23rd, 2015, Richard, Connie, and their two boys, aged 6 and 9, bustled around getting ready for the day. To many of their acquaintances, the family appeared to be an ordinary one in the quiet bedroom community. Bedroom community. What is a bedroom community?
It's one where people primarily live, but nobody really works.
I see.
Small sleepy town.
I
Yeah,
see.
the kind of place where people commute from there, but nobody stays there during the day.
So these houses aren't just like giant bedrooms.
No, they've got pretty nice houses for the most part. I used to work in one as a fireman.
Okay. Well, I was unfamiliar with the term. It looked kind of weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
Richard was a network administrator, and Connie worked as a pharmaceutical sales representative. Joanne Knapp, a former neighbor of the debates, fondly recalled Connie popping over to her house to ask her out for walks while Knapp was having a difficult pregnancy. Knapp and Connie and Richard appeared to have a happy, even passionate marriage. They couldn't keep their eyes off each other, Knapp said. Well, if you look at it in the context of this guy is wanting to kill his wife, of course he's got his eyes on her all the time. Holy shit. It was a look that you would want. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but behind the public face, Connie's killing would reveal a darkly tangled relationship and a major secret. Richard and his attorney did not respond to requests for comment. Richard gave us a detailed but shifting account of Connie's killing to detectives over 6 hours on the day of the slaying. It is contained in his arrest warrant. On the drive to work that morning, Richard said he got an alert on his phone that the home's alarm had been triggered. He said he shot an email to his boss, interesting phrasing, and returned home, arriving there between 8:45 and 9 a.m. Richard told police he heard a noise on the second floor and found a hulking intruder, I am Groot, wearing camouflage and a mask inside the walk-in closet of the master bedroom. You ask any racer, any real racer, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is still winning. Anyway, the intruder demanded his wallet at knife point, as opposed to finding his wallet laying in a. Gosh. Soon after Connie returned home from an exercise class, Richard told investigators he yelled at her to run. Well, you can't run from the Guardians of the Galaxy. Connie fled into the basement and the intruder followed. When Richard arrived on the lower level, he made his way through the darkness, finding the man pointing a gun at Connie's head. Richard said that the gun was his own and that Connie must have removed it from a safe to defend herself. You know, it's kind of hard to run from Riddick. When Richard said he charged but heard a deafening blast and fell, when he got up, Connie was slumped onto the ground. Police would later determine the gunshot hit her in the back of her head. The intruder disabled Richard and then zip-tied one of Richard's arms and one of his legs to a folding chair, according to the account. One of his arms and one of his legs. Because he kind of needs one of those arms free to zip tie himself now, doesn't he?
Exactly.
The intruder jabbed Richard with a box cutter. The man also started to fire in a cardboard box using a blowtorch, which he then turned on Richard's ankle, which he needs that that free hand to turn it on his ankle, which is free. So he can pick up his ankle with his, with his free arm. He can burn his ankle, then put his ankle back down, and then so on and so forth. Anyway, I'm not the CSI on this case. Richard told investigators he saw an opening. He jammed the blowtorch in the man's face and singed it. The intruder ran out. Richard said he crawled upstairs with the chair still attached, activated the panic alarm, called 911, and collapsed. The firefighter found him soon after. Gosh, how long is this fucking thing? I'm not reading the rest of this. It's just ridiculous. But the moral of the story is this idiot shot his wife and then tied his ass to a chair and set some shit on fire and made up some Chronicles of Riddick story. And Bob's your uncle. That's what happened. Now he's going to
trying to run
jail.
away from somebody. Would you run to a basement? I'd be out the front door.
No.
Yeah.
Dive out a window if they had a gun in their hand. What?
I would sooner sprint through drywall than go into the basement.
Corral yourself.
Cornering yourself
That's
in a basement.
That's what you call the kill box, man.
He decided it was delicious and was trying to tear it up around.
Unless he had a friggin' minigun there prepped to take out Vin Diesel and the Guardians of the Galaxy, he's going to the basement's a bad idea.
I think Peter Quill could take this guy, and not with any of his gadgets or guns.
Right.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga
Or his
chaka.
Zune.
Yeah.
A6, got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You're in the general San Antonio area, right?
I am in San Antonio, yes.
Okay, have you ever been to the Toilet Seat Art Museum?
No, but I have heard of it.
Well, for a mere 15 to 20,000, you could own it.
Really?
Yes, it is for sale.
Damn. Shit. I could buy that thing and
Shit.
just
Appropriate response.
eat all the roughage I want and all the granola that I want and just crap all day.
And for the paltry sum of 15 to 20,000, you will get 1,300 hand decorated toilet seats.
Oh man. Oh man.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah. I could shit on a new one every day for a month.
1,300? 4 years plus.
That's luxury, man.
Nearly 4 years.
You know people talk about crapping in a solid gold toilet. This is even better.
This is art, man. This is art.
This is fecal nirvana.
Off.
Let's have a
Go ahead.
Off.
one of those
On.
those out of body experiences. So my astral self can be crapping while my physical self is crapping at the same time, dude.
So with that whole bandolier idea, I was kind of thinking back. Anyone ever read The Diamond Age?
I have not.
Kids,
Okay.
No.
There's this one thing where there's this guy that gets explosives packed into him. I can't remember if it was in his head or where. It's been a while since I read it. And he has this perimeter he has to walk out of for his own execution. And at that point, they'll blow up. If we could come up with one that would reliably detect lying, it'd be great if all politicians had one. That's what I was thinking of. I wasn't actually trying to say we should blow up any particular person. But if we could get the politicians to have that, we would have a very interesting change in our politics.
It sounds like that movie with Rutger Hauer from the 90s. It was on HBO, Wedlock. They would put you in prison, and you and one other person that you wouldn't know who it was. You were what they call wedlock partners, and they had collars you would wear around your neck. And if you got 100 yards away from each other, it would start beeping, and it would blow your head off. So they were in a prison, and what it was is there was no walls, no fences, none of that. It's just you wandered too far away, and you and someone else are both going to die. So it was to keep everyone there because you don't know who your guy is until you get away from them, basically.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty cool movie.
Yeah.
I just want to take a second here to thank Peterbilt Nation and Sweeper for becoming 2 of my most recent new subscribers to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I just got a Peterbilt as well.
Yeah, same
No
here.
problem, man. No problem, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's always good to get subs.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Unless it's Jacob.
Exactly.
So me and Ajax, well, Ajax is already over near Chicago, but I'm going to be meeting him over there along with Burnside and possibly Diogenes if we can ever get him around. Anyone else coming down to Chicago, or is it just going to be us?
I think it's just going to be us, man.
All right.
We will protect the Milo.
Yeah. Should be interesting either way.
Protect that dangerous faggot.
Yeah.
Oh, there should be plenty of interesting people there.
Oh, yeah. I'm just hoping I don't get too banged up in Manhattan on the 4th when I go into the cover what's going down with that stupid march with what the hell are they doing now? They're reenacting the uprising, the Bolshevik Revolution, or whatever the hell they're doing, because it's the 100-year anniversary.
Well, that was like a Tuesday in Manhattan.
Well, according to Antifa, they're taking over the government. All 3,000 of them.
LOL in caps.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And bold while I'm at it.
Italicized bold.
Underlined.
I got all my MAGA shit, and I just finished Scotch guarding it, so I'm good to go.
That's good. It's really hard to get feces out.
In case they bleed and piss on you, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm worried about like getting their bodily fluids on me, either from what they throw on me or from what I beat out of them.
Yeah.
Remember, Chicago is a gun-free zone.
That's funny. Just gotta tell that to the people who are firing on us.
Well, maybe the airport's a gun-free zone. I don't know about the rest.
I don't think so.
You know, I'm going to be staying at Burnside for like a day or two while I'm out there. I'm dying to see how this kid's apartment looks. I'm picturing something with like, tiki torches and skulls hanging outside the door and shit. Just something that like the house in Fight Club. The house on Paper Street. I got a feeling that's what I'm going to be staying at for 2 days. Oh, speaking of devil, he just woke up on Discord.
Yeah, the question is, do they keep the tiki torches next to the Iron Cross or not?
Come on now. I'm sure it's perfectly fine.
No, he has
sure
one. It's just World War I, not World War II.
It's probably very zen. Tapestry on the wall, silk pillows on the floor, candles burning everywhere.
Yeah.
Soft lingerie.
Well, hell, after the fraternity house I stayed in, yeah, his house should be nothing. I woke up once we actually had a fucking nanny goat eating the couch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they stole a mascot from, I think it was, because I was upstate at the time. I was living in Utica. So it could have been Cordell. It could have been Oneonta. I don't know who the hell's mascot it was. But I woke up and the thing's next to me and it's got the banner, when they put the banner over it, like, I guess, I don't know, it looks like a saddle blanket, but it's small because it's a goat. And it had like the insignia on it because I'm sitting there and, I passed out. We've been drinking all night. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I wake up and there's a goat sitting next to me on the couch eating like the side of the couch I'm not on. Yeah. Hoping Burnside's apartment isn't that bad, but.
And people say surrealism isn't realistic.
Yeah, right?
For your sake, I hope he just has some furniture.
Yeah, preferably goat free. I'm looking forward to it, though. You know, the furthest west I've ever been is Pennsylvania, so it's going to be interesting for me.
Very.
Yeah. Whole fish out of water thing. Well, that's the beauty of it. You lived, you know, Ajax, you lived in Brooklyn for a little while, and you know, Chicago. So, out of the two, I mean, am I going to be like shocked, really, at all from anything in Chicago, or is it just business as usual?
His neighborhood or mine?
I'm guessing I'm going to be in his neighborhood for most of it. So,
Yeah, business as usual.
okay, good. Keep you wild in the front and just don't take your eyes off of the street. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right, good. So it's fine then.
No, Brooklyn. Listen, living in Brooklyn is fine. I'll never do it again. Other people can do it. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I just remember the parts of Brooklyn that I used to frequent weren't exactly, and this is back when Dinkins was the mayor too. So with you know, it's apples and oranges at this point. You know, it was a different time, different place. But I remember like going into parts of East New York and like going into to Bushwick. That's when it used to be bad. That's back when the brownstones were all still boarded up and shit. So I don't know.
Nah, Chicago's fine as long as you're not in the wrong neighborhood on the south side, which you won't be. You'll be.
Yeah,
fine.
well, that and also I told them flat out, I'm not doing anything. You know, like none of that crazy shit running across rooftops, doing any vigilante anarchism crap or whatever the hell he does in his free time. You know. I'm a comic book nerd. I'm a couch dweller. I'm not. I'm not running across rooftops like Batman. We're not doing that.
Oh man. Anybody else got any good stories or anything?
Well, you weren't here yesterday. We had that interesting bit of business with the Rick and Morty fans and the Szechuan sauce at your
I was reading.
Yeah.
Is it laced with bath salts?
So it's laced with something. I don't know.
And everybody wants some.
Everybody wants some. I am myself. I'm a big Szechuan sauce fan, so I can kind of understand what some of the appeal is. However, at this point, it's more of a nostalgia / fanhood sort of thing with the Szechuan sauce. Back in '98, when Mulan was in theaters, and this is the sauce that was referenced in that episode. I'm told.
Right.
It was just a good sauce that people missed from that period of time.
I actually got a bottle of it in the fridge.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can get virtually this.
In the glove compartment too.
you can get virtually
for eating.
Yeah.
You can get virtually the same thing with a few minor tweaks at your local supermarket. And these guys are jumping up on counters,
giving their Braveheart speech over Szechuan sauce. Yeah,
essentially. Talking about pickle ricks and shit like that.
Now, I didn't even realize that was going on, and I read about it later that evening. Did anybody notice any commotion at a McDonald's or anything near them?
What
happened?
There's one really close to me. I haven't been down there, but if they did have the promotion, then yeah, I would expect that there's a lot of Rick and Morty fans here in San Antonio, unfortunately. So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why? What's going on with McDonald's?
Well, they Rick and Morty, the show would always reference this Szechuan sauce. That it was his main life's goal was to acquire this sauce that hasn't been around since what, guys, 98 or something like that?
Yep.
About that, yeah.
So McDonald's, to go along with basically the real life meme of the show, did a 1-day only offering of this sauce. But the problem is they only sent like 20 to 30 packets to each store. So people were just incensed that it wasn't available. I'm sure half of the stuff disappeared when the employees got their hands on it.
Oh, I bet.
And whatever was left, obviously, sold out in 2 seconds. So people were all but rioting at McDonald's across the country, and that was what, guys, like 4 days ago or something like that.
I would say more than half of these people showed up to get this sauce just to sell it on Craigslist or eBay.
Oh God, yeah.
Wow, that explains a lot then. We actually there's a McDonald's up the block in the neighborhood, and it's one of the busiest ones in the area. It's one of the busiest ones in the state, and I'm guessing that's what happened because they said that there was all sorts of a commotion up over at the McDonald's, and it was actually a fatal accident. Somebody went flying and slammed into a telephone pole. I guess that must be what's related to. I got to find out. I feel bad because I know the 2 kids' fathers. I don't want to go up and ask them now. Listen, does this have anything to do with that Szechuan sauce?
Hey, are they providing statistics on the racial demographics of who got this sauce? Is there white privilege involved in getting this sauce?
There is.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's a cryptic saying overrated sauce. He can make it better than McDonald's. I'm sure anybody could make a better Szechuan sauce than the one at McDonald's. It's just that it's not as well traveled as, say, like a barbecue sauce or like even a honey mustard sauce. So when people have Szechuan sauce for the first time, it's like they're blown away because it is a really awesome tasting sauce. I will tell you that.
Absolutely.
You want a bottle?
Isn't the McDonald's variation basically a teriyaki style?
I keep hearing that it's a combination of sweet and sour and honey mustard.
Right.
Well, 6, the reason I'm asking is because I live probably about 10 minutes away from over in Great Neck. It's one of the largest Asian neighborhoods basically outside of China. Between them, it extends. It starts in Great Neck. It's all Korean, and then it goes all the way up into Flushing, Queens, and that's more Chinese. But that's where I stop in. I'll stop in usually once a month. I get all my sauces there because it's not even written in English. It's all authentic shit right from overseas. Saying if you really like Szechuan that much, I can mail you a bottle.
Well, that's nice of you to offer, but we actually do have a large Asian community in it's around Wurzbach Road here in San Antonio. We have a number of Asian-owned Asian shops that have a lot of Asian stuff. One that I usually go to is called Tim's. It's on Bandera Road. Just dropped something on my toe. What the hell? That was my Swiss Army knife. Sorry. Got distracted there. Got distracted.
Oh, good.
The Swiss have attacked.
I was attacked by a Swiss Army knife.
I thought they maintained neutrality.
Every day.
Yeah, they've broken their neutrality. Now I can declare war on Switzerland because of their aggressive pocket knives.
Are you declaring jihad against them?
It's the war of the pen knives.
We come for all your Ricola and your chocolate.
Many tweezers were wielded. Many eyebrows were plucked.
And many toothpicks were brandished.
Not a dirty tooth in the...
God, I had one of those ones, the Boy Scout edition one. You ever see that? It looked like it was really thick, about as big as a VHS tape because of all the different things that it had in it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I missed that. I got a Leatherman. It's not the same.
No.
I got the one that has the small blade, the large blade, the fingernail file, the little saw, the pair of scissors, the bottle and can opener, some kind of corkscrew that doesn't work very well, and a bunch of other little things on the back. I don't know what they're for, but it's heavy enough to wake you up when it rolls off your futon onto your toe.
Well, as a weapon, throwing it would probably be the most effective use.
You wouldn't even have to take a blade out. Just throw the darn thing at somebody's head. Knock him out cold.
Yeah, 3 pounds of stainless steel upside the head will do that.
Yeah, take your bandana off your head, wrap it around it, and just whack him with it.
Speaking of Antifa, what kind of response are you guys expecting at? So I was making tea while you guys were talking about the Milo thing.
Hard to say. Where it's at, it could go either way. I mean, there could be a couple of hundred that show up, could be 20. It's really hard to say. It's not really in the neighborhood where they're known to congregate. And it is actually a nicer area. There's usually more police just on a regular day on the beat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to say.
Well, I wish you guys the best.
Thank you. It's going to be interesting either way.
Off. Sasha, off.
Ow.
Sasha,
go.
off.
Sasha's talking now?
No, that's my wife.
Ow.
Sasha, get off.
Well-trained dog. Jeez.
Hasn't even had him a month, and he's got the dog talking. Plain is a next level dog guru.
And I've got a couple of dogs I need to
hand him
send you.
Plain is the dog whisperer.
Actually, my friend got called the dog whisperer recently. I wish he was here because we need him to quit fighting. My wife's in the bathroom checking to see if he actually managed to break the skin horribly because he clamped down hard.
Ouch. I get one of my cats actually bites, and for the weirdest reason. I've noticed that if I happen to be in the kitchen and I dare to exit the kitchen without giving her something, she gets kind of upset. So she will attack my foot or my ankle. Also, if I hug her for too long, she will get offended and then clamp down on my hand and give me a good torquing. And this is the nicest. This is the nicest cat. I mean, this is 99.9% of the time. She's like a teddy bear. She doesn't do anything remotely aggressive. But there's a few little things that kind of set her off. And
Sounds like my wife.
Is that why your avatar is a mouse?
Yeah, funny. No, actually, that's just because how much I hate Disney. Loathe. Probably a better term to use.
Well, everyone over 17 hates Disney, but
I was just
you take it to a new level.
Yeah, it's, you know what it is? I probably wouldn't even be having this conversation right now if Disney would have just left my comic books alone. You know, if they would not have went after Marvel with the SJW thing, I wouldn't be inflicted on them right now. I look at it this way: Disney inflicted me upon themselves. Comics alone, then they wouldn't have me to deal with.
Yeah, Disney has a way of buying franchises and companies and just really boiling them down to the most milquetoast, progressive BS.
Yeah, they destroyed everything. They bought that. They own pretty much every franchise. Let me see. They own Marvel Comics. They own Jim Henson Studios. They own Star Wars. They own Pixar.
That
Oh
one
God, I
bothered
could sit
me,
here all day.
actually.
They're trying to buy Hasbro. If they buy Hasbro, that means they own Dungeons and Dragons, Transformers, and GI Joe.
Holy shit.
The only one they weren't able to acquire thus far was Ninja Turtles got bought out by Viacom. So that was the only one that they didn't acquire so far. That actually didn't complete their portfolio. The two that I've heard scuttlebutt among the nerd circles the most, though, is Hasbro and Blizzard are the two they're looking at.
They'll never get Blizzard.
Mm-mm.
So, they've had their eyes on Blizzard for years, and I remember a few years ago hearing people say they'd never get EA Sports either, and they got EA. So
Yeah, no, I can see them getting EA, but they'll never get Blizzard. Blizzard and Activision are, together they're just a behemoth. As far as implausible as it sounds, I would say that Blizzard and Activision together can take anybody else that they want, not the other way
God, I
around.
hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
Hey, Plane is the pup in timeout or something?
We leave
Heard
the
a bit
room
of
when he
crying
does
there.
that. We leave the room when he does that because huskies are really social.
Uh-huh.
And by going out of eye shot and not being there, it's the only way to show him that when he does things, it won't go, and that you're not playing. So it increases by 30 seconds every time, and we just restart it every day. So far, he's up. His next one will be 3 minutes for me. And what are you up to? Probably 10 minutes if you actually were going by that at this point.
That's actually only 3 minutes.
So we're the same then.
Yeah. Well, that one was 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I handed her the first aid kit as she went off into the little bathroom down here in the basement to disappear from him.
Yeah, you got to teach them early on, because if you don't, then they think that they rule the roost and they're the alphas of the pack, and they get they're disobedient and they don't do anything you ask them to do.
Yeah. The worst part about it with the husky, it doesn't devolve over time. They just eventually it clicks, but until then they're just as bad the whole time.
I always had German Shepherds myself. They listened, but they just didn't give a shit either.
That's kind of where he is. He doesn't care. He hears us. He just doesn't care what we're saying. He's really, really smart. He's just not obedient at all.
Oh no, the Shepherds were like obedient off the bat, but they never came looking for affection. They never came looking to play. They would find a spot and they would just chill. That's what Shepherds do. They just watch everybody.
Well, they're a working dog, so
Yeah.
they're about as utilitarian as a breed as you can get.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought I was just an awesome dog trainer when I was a kid, just because I had German Shepherds. I didn't know that it was the dogs. It wasn't me.
And then 2 other dogs came up at the same time. That's why he's so bad after the wash.
So we got a few people in chat here. Usually we have people ask us questions at this point, but I don't know what Ajax. Where do you want to take it?
Yeah, if anybody's got questions, that's great. I don't know who's actually who's left in chat.
I think we may have Cryptic, so we'll get Cryptic to ask us a question. If we don't get anything from them, I guess we could ask each other questions. I don't know.
Truth or dare, or have you ever?
So is anybody else surprised that YouTube hasn't changed that icon for changing out of full screen?
Which one?
The Balkenkreuz from the one that Luftwaffe used during World War II. Yeah, if you full screen something, the icon to go back from full screen is the Balkenkreuz that was used by the Luftwaffe.
Nice.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a cool a cool logo, but you know.
Right.
Well, I see what they've done with the design is that they have that box, and all they've done is flip the arrows 180 degrees, so they point inwards instead of outwards, and it's I get what they're trying to do with that.
Yeah, it was entirely unintentional, but you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like those hiking boots with the swastikas on the bottom. Somebody probably just thought it was a cute little flower pattern, so they put it on the hiking boots, and now neo-Nazis have been trying to buy these boots that are now, of course, they're out of production.
They should just start producing them again. They may as well make bank as long as people are going to be dicks about it.
They should put logos from every extremist group.
Yeah, and then they should do testing to see which one sticks.
Well, no, on the same boot. On the same boot, have like a swastika and have like a
crescent with a star.
Yeah.
Well, on the left foot, yeah.
On the left foot, yeah.
Do the crescent and star. You do the Antifa flags, all that, and then of course on the right, we know what we have there.
Just have an America fuck yeah.
I want one that just leaves a big old MAGA footprint on the right hand, and then like big old hammer and sickle and swastika and all the other leftist symbols.
Somebody say hammer?
Yeah, we were asking if you had a sickle.
Am I sick? Yes, I'm sick. No, I don't have a sickle. Hammer's good enough.
Okay. Just want to make sure because it could be useful. You know, you could do some threshing.
I wasn't listening.
Cheaper than a combine harvester.
Not arguing, but I was discussing Blizzard with Cryptic in chat, so I wasn't paying too much attention. Sorry.
We're in for a blizzard? What?
Cryptic was talking about activating.
I heard you.
Okay. Okay.
So, Cryptic, you got any questions for us? I guess not.
What were we arguing about last night at the end of the night?
I
wasn't.
That was a good discussion. We didn't get a chance, or not last night, night before last.
What was that?
It was a good discussion. We ran out of time. Of course, we're going to run out of time again, but
yeah, we got about
what was it? The gun laws? I think we were talking about.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was you, me, purposeful discussion, a few other people, right?
Yeah.
Went over. Yeah.
That's right. We were talking about New York gun laws.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, and how ridiculous they are.
Yeah.
Right. That was a good discussion. Then we should plan a stream specifically for something like that instead of spending a lot of time reading the news. Just pick a really good topic and have at it.
I'm down for that. Yeah, that sounds like a really good format. I mean, you know, the news is fine, you know, maybe on a weekend show, like, you know, Saturday, Sunday, maybe just do like a recap, like how everyone else is doing. You know, they do like a weekend review, something like that. But as for the rest of the week, I mean, for God's sake, look at this weekend. How many stories came out over the weekend? You had Vegas and everything else.
Weinstein, there's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
well, you know, I'm hosting tomorrow. So if you guys are all available, I think we had a really good discussion going.
Yeah, I do have scouts tomorrow night, so I'll be at least late if I show up at all. But, you know, just someone remind everyone, if you're doing it, that black guns matter.
Plane late? Oh, my goodness.
It never happens, right? It's just like an airport. Planes are always on time there.
Actually, today is the exception. It just made it under the wire, so
I wasn't on time. The stream was late.
That's a great way to look at it. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll read like one or two small stories, but see if we can get into something with some meat on it and spend some time on it.
Okay.
I think the audience would like to hear that.
So either the gun thing or get more into the Harvey Weinstein thing.
Yeah. Or maybe both. We have time. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have a whole plethora of topics. Plus, you can always segue between them. You know, one thing can lead into another.
Yeah. And if chat comes up with something, you know, if chat comes up with something juicy, we'll tackle that too.
Coolidge.
I'm actually going to be. It's weird. There's like literally no gun shops around New York, but there's two. For whatever reason, they're both on like these two adjacent highways. They're in the same town, a block away from each other. Tomorrow I'm going to happen to be within 2 blocks of it, so I'll stop in and I'll talk to the guys who run it, see if I can get a couple of ideas out of them. What's coming down the pike, what laws are on, you know. Yeah, that way I have like an actual reference that I can refer to, you know. So.
Are those within the city limits of New York?
No, they're right outside the city
just
limits.
Outside the border. Yeah, that's how it is in Chicago, or it's how it used to be.
And being right across the street from each other, are these gun stores owned by Starbucks?
No.
By any chance?
No, I think what it is, one shop, if I'm understanding correctly, and I'm not even saying this trying to be funny, one is an Army shop, and the other one, I believe, is a Navy shop.
Is one called Hatfields and the other McCoy's?
No. One is, oh Christ, I don't even know the names of them. I stopped into them. They're literally on like, one is on Route 27, and one is on Route 27A. So they're basically the two adjacent highways. They're like 2 blocks away from each other. I found it ironic, actually. My wife even said, she's like, why are they both within the same? I said, I don't know, dear. I have no idea why. I said, I guess it's just the luck of the draw that these two guys wound up here. Maybe it's an ordinance in this part of town. I said, who knows? Point is, they're just both there. So I'll stop in tomorrow and I'll ask them. I was going to stop in anyway because I want to see now after Vegas, you know, even though it's literally the other side of the country, what the hell my governor is going to do. So I want to go in there before I find out the only thing you're allowed to get at this point is a pea shooter.
Right.
They have to wait 3 years for.
No, though, that's probably banned.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because it can be made into a fully automatic pea shooter.
Yeah.
No, but it has to use fresh, not frozen peas. Frozen peas.
They've got to be organic or it jams.
Does anybody remember that scene from Wayne's World where Wayne is trying to stop the wedding between Cassandra and whoever, and he goes into the first. Yeah, he goes into the First Baptist Church, and he's banging on the window, and it happens to be a different couple, and it's across the street. So he goes across the street to the Second Baptist Church, and that's where they are. And both churches look exactly the same, but they have different signs.
I vaguely remember it, man.
I never saw Wayne's World. Was that like a take on the Graduate scene?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I was going to say that. They even have him in the car and listening to Mrs. Robinson and everything.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to sign on to Netflix and have them send me a DVD of that, because I have never seen it.
Wayne's World is a classic. It's one of those rare comedies that actually hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hammer, it's Wayne's World 2, not the first one.
Oh, that's right. It is Wayne's World 2.
Yeah.
I should probably get both, though, right?
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
It's worth it to see him. Probably the best Mike Myers. I'm not a big fan of Austin Powers because they beat that into the fucking ground when it came out.
Yeah, by the time the third one came out, I was like, really?
I was done with it by the time the second one came out. That came out my senior year of high school. It really, I got so sick of it because, you know, you got everyone walking around trying to do that, you know, trying to imitate that accent. You can hear from the way I talk, they were butchering it. So, you know, you're walking through a building full of people trying to talk in this Cockney English accent that they can't pull off. Oh, God. I didn't even bother to see the second one in the theater.
I'm a huge fan. You okay?
It's like Sweeper's asleep.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of accents. So I love having people on who have a different accent than me. So we need to get somebody on from UK. We need to get somebody here from Australia.
Yeah, if I could possibly do it, I always like to try to stream with somebody that's from a different country.
Yeah, we need to invite Irate Bear on. He'll come on. He likes to stream.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a big streamer.
Oh no, I know he likes to stream. I just seems like he streams so much. I doubt he'd ever want to do ours.
Really?
Man, he's on constantly.
You know, isn't Scribe coming on to our stream at some point soon?
I believe so.
And he's a regular streamer too. I mean, he streams every night.
Hmm.
Did you hear they're changing their schedule?
No. No,
Yeah,
I didn't
the
realize.
Monkey Stream is changing their schedule. They're not streaming every night anymore. They're going to take Sunday off,
Okay. Why not?
and everybody's going to have an assigned day, like kind of like we do. See, they saw our stream and realized it was a better model. Everybody's copying us, you know.
Yeah.
We're the cool kids.
It's good to be the king.
Yeah.
We was kings.
Yeah, you never want to be the first to do anything.
Well, I signed into to Netflix.com and I have those 2 movies in my queue, so I'll make a point to, because they are classics. The problem with me and my Netflix queue is that there's so many great movies out there that I forget all of the great movies, so I never remember which one. You said Wayne's World, I was like, oh, I've never had those. It immediately triggered me to pick up a copy of them. I need to find someone who's big into Netflix too, and look at their copy of what movies they've watched. So I know, oh, I should get that one. Oh, I should get that one. I already have like 300 in my queue.
I'll send you some recommendations because
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm a big Netflix guy, so I watch a ton of Netflix, both on Instant Watch and the DVDs that they mail. So I will send you recommendations.
Cool. I need to zip up the list of movies I have, put it in a file, and send it to you. That's what I need to do.
Okay.
Because it's that long that you have to zip it up.
Requires a zip file.
Yeah, you can't send zip files over Google. They won't let you.
Interesting.
Yeah, you have to rename it to text. You need make it a zip file, then change the extension to TXT, and then you can send it. The person who gets it has to change it back to zip, and it works.
I never knew that.
That's asinine.
It is. Why would they stop you from doing that? That doesn't make any sense.
If Google can possibly do something incredibly stupid, they will do it.
I'm scared of Google. When it comes right down to it, they get their fingers in so many things, and they're looking to put their fingers in even more things.
They're like Disney of the internet.
They just acquire everything. You know, if anything comes up that's good, they acquire it.
They have the money to do it, so they're going to do it. If I was in charge of the company, we'd still be a search engine, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know, free email also.
Yeah, free email, I guess.
That's a good way just to keep people attached to your service. So then you don't have to acquire anybody to do that.
A search engine and Gmail, and that's it. I would have never tried to acquire YouTube. That's just...
It's a loss for them.
Yeah.
They're just running at a loss, and that's just because they have enough money to do it.
I mean, think how much data they actually archive.
I'm hoping to calm down for you.
So we're about...
We're the next 6 minutes.
The next 6 minutes.
The next 6 minutes.
It's 5 minutes now.
Well, we did start late, so.
You know, I should do a parody video, a new character. The next 5 minutes. Find me a cylinder with a 5-shot cylinder.
They're out there.
Yeah, one of those compact revolvers, and I'll make a parody where I dress up like Steve Shives, and do like a black and white or something.
Didn't Schofield make a 5-shot?
I'm thinking so. Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
They're the most major manufacturers who make revolvers, they do make a 5-shot. So I believe Smith & Wesson makes a popular one that it's actually a polymer frame. I can't remember the model of it though.
Oh my God, I was actually looking at it last week when I stopped in the gun shop. The Defender?
That sounds right.
Because I thought it was, because I know there was, I think it's Colt has the judge and Smith & Wesson has the governor, or I might have those reversed. So that's what I thought I was looking at. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh wait, no, that isn't this. Because it looked actually almost like a flare gun. Because of the way that it was set up, you know, the way the handle was, the grip on it, and just the length of the barrel itself, and then the cylinder. And I'm looking at the cylinder because the cylinder was a little bit on the large side. But it's a 5-shot. I don't know what the hell size shells it shoots, but they look pretty impressive just for the size of the pistol itself.
Yeah, these are.
I thought most 5-shots were 22s or 38s.
I have no idea. This thing looked like it might even hold like small rifle rounds.
You're thinking of the Public Defender. I'm thinking
names of these different guns.
There's the Governor. There's the I believe it's called the Public Defender. Semi-autos were most of the things that we sold. We did have a case full of revolvers, but semi-autos were by far our most popular pistol. Well,
more rounds, more fun.
Yeah, you really can't call a revolver a pistol though, because it has more than one. It has more than one chamber. A pistol is generally regarded as a firearm with a single chamber.
Yeah.
But you, being half Mexican, can call it a pistola.
Now, if I could throw a grito, I would be in Latin heaven there. There we go. Let's see. There are a number of different revolvers that I can pick a. Ooh, there's a good picture of one too.
I'm going to show my ignorance of weapons here because I don't really know much about them. But do pistols and revolvers have a rifled barrel?
Yes. Yes, they generally do. Is
that an intelligent question?
No, it is an intelligent question. Most modern rifles have it. That's actually what the term is, rifling.
Right.
You could get like a black powder one, like an older one that doesn't have the rifling, but there's no accuracy to them. Like the old ones.
That's the whole point of rifling, is to spin the bullet, right?
Yeah, it's for spin stabilization.
And I knew a rifle has it, and I know that's the whole point of it, but I was just wondering because of the short muzzle or a short barrel, I guess you say.
Yeah.
Whether or not they had that or it was long enough to have rifling or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Most pistols and revolvers do have a form of rifling. Like Scooby was saying, that there's a few models of black powder revolvers that do not require anything like that. A lot of them are competition pistols that are used in these kind of rodeo style competitions, shooting competitions, where these guys are on horseback and they have to ride around shooting at balloons with black powder.
Wow.
With black powder revolvers, and there's no projectile. It's just the expanding gases and the sparks that fly out from the black powder charges in the revolver that actually pop the balloons. There was a guy that showed up one day with who was actually one of these guys that does that. And he and I were talking about some of the older revolvers that we had in a case at the back of the shop, and he actually showed me videos of him on YouTube. You can probably find them right now. Black powder competitions where they ride around popping balloons with the black powder charges. As it is. Shotguns are generally not rifled. Some of them are. Some of them have rifled chokes. Some of them actually have rifled barrels. These are mostly shotguns that are used with slugs, so they can have spin stabilization and so on and so forth. If it's generally one of the types of slugs that don't have like the veins on the side that cause a little bit of spin stabilization. You can actually put chokes on smooth bore shotguns and have somewhat the same effect as a rifled barrel for a shotgun, but generally no. Shotguns are more intended for like buckshot and birdshot and stuff like that.
Like the scatterguns. Yeah,
but you could shoot a slug out of a smooth bore. Accuracy may vary. Of course, there's some ammo that really likes a rifled shotgun barrel, but it's, in my experience, it's generally not something that is required to have any like a rifled choke or a rifled barrel with a shotgun.
Unless you go trap shooting, it's not really something you're going to go for anyway. That's like for a target shooting gun,
right?
You know, it's a novelty. That's a novelty in and of itself. You know.
Are you any of you familiar with a YouTube channel called Tough Later Mouse?
Yeah, he is the guy that shoots all those experimental shotgun slugs.
Yeah, and it was actually funny. I do watch a machinist, a French Canadian guy, and I realized he was actually making the tungsten rounds for Tough Later Mouse, and that's just unreal to think about. I mean, the hardest material known to man coming out of a shotgun,
and that's heavy too.
Oh, yeah. Extremely
very heavy. I have tungsten. I have a small little cube. It's about the size of a sugar cube, made of tungsten carbide, and it's astonishingly heavy. I have one that's about 5 or 6 times that size, made out of magnesium. That's
like the lightest metal, isn't it?
Yeah,
magnesium like nothing.
It's. I like to do that to guests. I like to.
Which one's heavier?
Shoot them with magnesium bolts.
I toss them the magnesium cube, and they get used to the weight of that, and then I toss them the tungsten carbide and watch their reactions.
Well, it's kind of like lead and aluminum, isn't it? Are they like the opposite sides of the scale?
Yeah, it's
like the only thing lighter is titanium, right?
Titanium is pretty light. The lightest metal that I'm aware of is lithium.
I believe you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think lithium or what is that what's that stuff called? I can't remember the name of it. But lithium, I think, is, if not the lightest, it's like one of the top 3 lightest. Magnesium would probably be 6 or 7.
My wedding band's actually tungsten.
Yeah, that's gained a lot of popularity here in about the last decade.
People like it because it's people who generally have allergies to certain kinds of metals. Tungsten is one of those very non-reactive ones.
Yeah, I have to wear it because of my wife. She's allergic to everything except like tungsten and platinum. And I said, well, I'm not getting platinum, so I got tungsten.
There's a metal called microlattice that is the lightest metal, but it's made mostly of air.
It's kind of like aerogel, but metal.
It says it's lighter than styrofoam.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They show it sitting on top of a dandelion.
Have you guys ever handled aerogel?
No, I don't even know what it is.
It's they made it for NASA was the one that came up with it for putting it in like their machines that they send out in space. This stuff it's bizarre. It feels kind of like styrofoam, but it's virtually no weight, and it looks ghostly. Like there's a little like a ghostly block of cheese sitting in your hand.
Interesting. What's it called again?
Aerogel.
What do you use it for?
It's
Erotic things, right? Aerogel.
Yeah, it's used.
That's
It's
areola
used,
gel.
it has just spectacular like heat insulation properties. So it's a great insulator. It's hard to burn.
Wow.
I think we might have used something that sounds like that up at the town when they were using it to you know, I don't know exactly like half of the shit that they get, but you know, if it's cutting edge, they'll spend the money on it. That's just how they are around here. You know, they'll try. It's like California. That's the reason that the state is so damn broke, because you know they have to have the best shit. But we have deeper pockets, so we can actually afford to do it. But if that's what it is, if it's NASA level insulating, I'm sure my taxes have paid for a couple, fucking cans of the shit. I'm sure we have it here. So yeah, I probably handled it, because they had us doing all sorts of shit up there. When you work for the DPW, they got all sorts of crap in there. I think I know what you're talking about. It looks like wet styrofoam, like the shit that they make a cooler out of.
Yeah, this stuff is extreme. It's very expensive too. It's like $40 for something about the size of like a cracker.
Hey, Ajax, can you give me a wrench so I can post a link in chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a picture of it. This stuff is amazing. Aerogel.
It's just if you've never heard of it or never seen it, it's hard to describe this stuff.
Yeah, I have a picture that's going to show like exactly what you're talking about. It's virtually see-through. What they did was they took a gel, removed all the liquid, and replaced it with gas.
Something like that. It's like what you were saying with the that micro lattice.
Yeah,
it's a polymer version of that.
Yeah, reading from Wikipedia, aerogel is a synthetic porous ultralight material derived from a gel in which the liquid component of the gel has been replaced with a gas. The result is a solid, extremely low density and low thermal conductivity. Nicknames include frozen smoke, solid air, solid cloud, blue smoke, owing to its translucent nature and the way light scatters in the material. It feels like fragile, expanded polystyrene to the touch.
You can actually buy this stuff. It's like $35-$40 for like a little small little bit of it.
Like a sample.
Yeah, like a sample size, and it's
cool looking.
Yeah, it's like ghost cheese.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, does it look like really waxy snot, for lack of a better term? Because I'm trying to think of the stuff that they gave us, because we had to grease the. I'm not
look at
grease, but
I put a pic in the chat.
Okay, hold on.
You see exactly what it looks like.
What is that on YouTube? The chat.
Yeah, I'll put a link in our Hangouts chat for you. So
okay, cool. Thank you.
Get to it.
Yeah,
there it is.
Okay, cool. Let me open this.
Oh, I hate to do this to you guys, but I have a very early morning tomorrow.
That's okay.
Okay.
We are 10 minutes over, so you don't have to apologize.
We've been bad.
I guess we'll say our goodbyes here.
Yeah, I got to get up in about 4.5 hours. So
get you some rest there, man.
Thanks. I guess we'll start with playing.
All right, sure. I'm playing speech on VidMe, YouTube, Gab, Tumblr, probably some other stuff I don't remember. And then on Liberty for Breakfast on Mines. And I am Kekistan.
Chataway. Scoob.
Yeah, I'm Scooby331. You can follow me on Minds.com, YouTube.com, Gab AI. I'm trying to get back on Twitter. I'm currently banned from Twitter, currently banned from Facebook.
Scoopy's been
I
a
think I'm
bad
back on
boy.
Daily Motion. I get banned a lot from things. I have that effect on people.
And that's why we eliminate it.
Yeah, amen to that. Yeah, but those are the platforms you can follow me on.
All right. I think Sweeper's still asleep.
Eh,
6.
I am the next 6 minutes. You can find me on YouTube, VidMe, Gab AI, BitChute. Maybe in the future, I'm still kind of mulling over doing anything with that. I'm also on Daily Motion and Discord.
All right. And Hammer.
I am TheOneTonHammer on YouTube, Twitter, but you're most likely to catch me on Monkey server, the Minions of the Zoo server, Discord server, and this Discord server. That's where I spend most of my time.
All right. Well, I am Greater Ajax at YouTube, VidMe, Gab, and Minds. Gentlemen, it's been fun. Thanks
Yes,
for
it has.
thanks for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
And
Yes,
hopefully we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Shadow everybody.
Shadow.
Shadow A.
I don't like. Good night.